make a public comment, please grab one of the yellow comment cards in the back of the room and bring it up to the front desk to Zara, and we will put you in queue. If you are joining us online, please wait to raise your hand until I invite you to do so, and we will take your public comments as well. All right, we are on item B1, announcement of reportable actions from closed session. There are none. Item B2, approval of the open session agenda. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Is there any public comment or board members wishing to comment? Seeing none, I will go to, do we have our student trustee today? No, right? Not online. So then I will just go to the.
Oh, there's it. Say aye. Yay.
All right, well, welcome. All right, so this is on approval of the open session agenda. I heard an aye recommendation from student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Next, item B3, approval of the regular meeting minutes from the board's last regular meeting. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Any public comment or board members wishing to comment? Seeing none, student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Next, on to item B4, our Employee of the Month for March 2025, Kim Howard, and presenting we have Vida Smith.
Here, good afternoon, Board President Shaban, Board of Trustees, President Garcia, and campus community. I'm Vida Smith from Admissions and Records, and today I have the honor of recognizing Kim Howard for March Employee of the Month. Kim has been with the district 10 years and is an admissions and records specialist. As a frontline employee working directly with students and faculty, she truly excels in her role. What makes her unique is that she shows genuine compassion and empathy, taking the time to listen to each individual and provide them with space to vent and feel heard when they are upset and frustrated by their individual circumstances. She always works with them to find the best possible solution to their problem. Kim's primary job is to review and adjudicate 5,000 student petitions and assist with sending out over 18,000 transcripts, each on an annual basis. Even with a 30% denial rate for petitions, I have never received a call from someone who wants to speak to Kim's supervisor to complain. I believe this is because she values each person she interacts with, treats them with respect, and works in close collaboration with them with the goal of helping them continue on their educational journey at SRJC and beyond. A standout year in Kim's tenure at SRJC was in 2020, when instead of the average 5,000 petition reviews I mentioned earlier, she received over 12,000 petitions, and never once did she complain, but worked diligently to make sure each student was responded to in a timely manner. Moreover, she did this all while rebuilding her family's home in Coffey Park. I appreciate Kim's kindness and straightforwardness towards everyone she comes across, especially with regard to our diverse student population. She exudes love for all, creating a welcoming presence and a joyful work environment. Kim is just spectacular, a 5-star rating for her exceptional service to our students and the campus community. I would now like to welcome Kim up to the podium to receive some gifts her friends and colleagues from Student Outreach and Admissions and Records have put together for her, and your plaque from the district. A gift certificate to the Culinary Cafe.
Oh, I love to eat.
Some tickets for you to go to Theater Arts Show, and a $200 gift card from your friends to Stark's dinner.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Thank you so much. You guys, that's just, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I just, wow, I better look at my notes. That's just over the top, you guys. I just want to thank the board and the committee, President Garcia and SRJC for this special honor. Okay, I'm gonna try not to tear up. I would really like to thank Vida for her leadership. I have worked for her for 8 years, and she always sets a positive tone in her office. She leads by example, instills high standards in our work practices, and is always encouraging us to be the very best versions of ourselves. Also, to my articulate, funny, and amazing coworkers, they make work enjoyable every day. And to the staff and to the faculty and the departments that I come in contact with every single day, I come in contact with different people as I'm trying to support students. So I just want to thank all of you. I finally, most importantly, want to thank my dear family who's here. And my friend Terry who came, my husband Don, who is my very best friend for the past 40 years, and for all of you, for my family who always supports and encourages me in all my things that I want to do. Thank you. I just want to say that I love working with students, and my trick is I've learned that a simple act of kindness can have a profound effect on them. Many students I chat with are facing tremendous challenges, and I take a moment to listen and connect with them to see if there's another resource on campus that I can offer them. It might be the counseling department, EOPS, TRD, or the transfer center, or any of these different departments, because my goal is to help them overcome the challenge that they're going through and to help remove any educational barriers that might hold them back from continuing down their path to their educational goals of graduating from SRJC. My motto when I started working here has always been to help one student at a time. And when you're on the phone or in front of me, to me, you're the most important person at that moment. And sometimes the next person might have to wait, but then when it's their turn, they're the most important person at that moment. I'm very proud and grateful for SRJC. I have 2 children who've graduated here, who went on to graduate from 4-year colleges, and they had a wonderful experience here. And I'm very grateful that I can give back to the community through my job here and make a small difference at SRJC. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you very much for your comments and your service to the district, and congratulations on a very well-deserved recognition. As an additional gift, you don't have to stay through the entire board meeting, so I do want to put that out there, but certainly happy to have you stick around. All right. Just give a 20-second break. They clear out. All right, now we move on to our public comment period. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Please state your name and affiliation before making comments. I'll start with the public comments that have been submitted here in the room, and then move to any comments we may have on Zoom. So starting off, we have Alan Angviano.
Hello, my name is Alan Anguiano, and I am one of the students of the SRJC Counseling 6 class with Lisa Dolberg at LC Allen. As a previous dual enrollment student, I can confidently say that this is a great program. Transportation was provided for SSU, but sometimes it was delayed or canceled. So having it at LC Allen has been a great experience, as the issue of tardiness and absences have never been a real problem. The support given from the SRJC have been a great help for making our dreams of becoming a successful college student a real possibility. You've helped us bridge the gap between high school and college. We thank you a lot for providing us with this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you. Next up, Gemma Roberts.
Hello, my name is Gemma Roberts, and I'm taking Counseling 6 at LC Allen High School. Lisa Dolberg is a wonderful instructor. She encourages me to do my best, and she cares about my future. I had a job interview on Saturday, and she sat me down and talked me through my worries and my questions, and she gave me helpful advice. The content in class helped me narrow down what I wanted to accomplish in my future and how I could achieve that. Having the class on campus really helped me stay on task and focus during the day. Thank you for giving us these opportunities.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, Forrest Harper.
Make me go after the students. Hi, everybody. My name is Forrest Harper, and I'm the proud principal of Cloverdale High School. I want to take a moment to express our gratitude and an incredible partnership between Cloverdale High School and Santa Rosa Junior College. Last semester, we had over 40 students enroll in Child 10, a child development course through our CCAP program, and the impact was fantastic. Last year, along with LC Allen, Cloverdale High School was the first schools in Sonoma County to have CCAP classes where SRJC professors came to the school and taught classes within our master schedule. Students not only earn college credit while in high school, but they also gain real-world knowledge about child development and growth. Many of them are considering careers in education, psychology, and healthcare, and this helps prepare them for the future. Students enjoyed applying to college and being treated like college adults. Something also to keep in mind, 40 students at Cloverdale High School took this class. That is 10% of the school. So imagine if 10% of all Sonoma County high schools took CCAP classes. How much better our students would be prepared for college. What stood out most was how much our students enjoyed the class. They engaged with the content and saw the relevance to their lives and built confidence in their ability to succeed in college-level coursework. This program is opening doors for them, and we truly appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with SRJC to make it happen. Looking at the data, hardly any Cloverdale High School students in the past decade have taken college development classes as dual enrollment classes while they're in high school, and now we have so much more. So by having CCAP classes, students are making great progress towards earning college credit and being prepared for the rigors of college. Thank you for your continued support for Cloverdale High School, as well as all high schools in Sonoma County, and we look forward to expanding these opportunities with our students in the future by offering Child 10, Child 51, and Animal Science 20 next year.
Thank you. Next up, Ann Foster.
Good afternoon, I'm Ann Foster, English Department faculty here at SRJC. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia, and guests. To start, a touch of personal background that I feel I can safely share since I have now been teaching here for nearly 30 years in the English department. Before becoming a teacher, I was not an A student. At times, I was actually a C-D student, and I even had to deal with an incomplete grade during graduate school. Fortunately, the D and the incomplete changed to higher grades, mostly due to the instructors who were able to show me the magic of their discipline and help me see what I had not yet been able to see. This same magic has been part of my teaching journey here at SRJC. I can confidently say that while I am not always an A+ teacher, I'm usually within the B+ to A- range. And that's because of the amazing teaching faculty here at SRJC, who have taught me so much about the magic of learning and the joy of discovering new ideas and interdisciplinary connections. One of the public ways in which we have all had a chance to experience this is through the Towser Lecture Series, which most recently focused on the color blue. Learning the history of this color, audience members learn more about chemistry, but also about art, geography, history, politics, and so much more. In another Towser lecture, blue was also a central color. Teaching the audience about the blue zones and related diets. While this focused on another disciplinary area, food and nutrition, the audience learned about the positive health impacts of these diets, as well as ideas and concepts related to geography, sociology, religions, and more. All the Towser lecturers have publicly and expertly exemplified the magical teaching and learning that happens in our classrooms across all modalities every single day at SRJC. Our faculty bring deep expertise of their discipline and how they teach these disciplines each and every day. In so doing, they strive to inspire their students to be curious, tolerate ambiguity, question, problem solve, and discover. And since starting here in 1995, I have worked and collaborated with amazing faculty across the disciplines, each one helping me reach A+ teaching every once in a while. So today, the day on which you grant tenure to several SRJC faculty, I encourage the board and the entire SRJC community to create spaces and opportunities that will support these newly tenured faculty and all SRJC faculty in continually deepening and expanding their disciplinary expertise and how to bring the magic of their discipline to SRJC students as they carve out their educational journey. Boom, made it.
Impressive. 3 minutes on the dot. All right, next up, Daniela Kingwell.
Good afternoon. I'm not sure if I'm going to drop the mic like Ann Foster just did. Hello, President Chabon, Dr. Garcia, Board of Trustees, guests. My name is Daniela Kingwell, and I teach non-credit CDCP, English for Multilingual Speakers, aka ESL. In fall of 2022, several EMLS faculty came to the Academic Senate and the Board of Trustees and made statements about why CDCP instructors should get pay equity compared to our credit colleagues. After our public comments, the Academic Senate passed a resolution in support of career development and college preparation education and acknowledged the negative impact of pay inequality on students' academic success and urged the district and AFA to collaborate and address this inequity as soon as possible. Our non-credit CDCP students are among the most disproportionately impacted students at our college. Pay equity for instructors ensures quality and effective programs and services for those students. Our non-credit CDCP courses are designed to prepare students for credit courses. As such, we teach students the academic skills they need for success. For example, in EMLS, we use the English Language Proficiency Standards for Adult Education, or ELPS, as a reference for our curriculum design. Published in 2016, the ELPS are intended to address the urgent need for educational equity, access, and rigor for adult English language learners. In addition, in a 2019 position paper written by the ASCCC entitled Non-Credit Instruction, Opportunity and Challenge, we find misconceptions about the rigor and structure of non-credit instruction. The non-credit curriculum approval process ensures that non-credit students receive the same quality of instruction provided to other students. Non-credit programs also ensure that non-credit instruction is effective in helping students to transition to college, gain meaningful wage work, and contribute to the community and society, end quote. So to illustrate the pay inequities with a personal example, I'm a full-time non-credit faculty member. My credit colleagues are compensated to teach 15 hours per week, plus an additional 15 hours for prep and assessment, plus 5 for office hours. The current contract requires me to teach 21.5 hours per week. In addition to this, I'm required to hold 3.5 office hours. Adding my college service of 5 hours per week, this brings me to 30 hours, leaving me only 10 hours to prep and assess for 21.5 hours of class time. Of course, I work more than 10 hours to prepare and assess my classes, but this is the reality of our inequitable compensation structure. In fact, due to our students' newness to the language and the country, we non-credit instructors tend to spend more time with students during office hours. We love supporting our students. At least 12 other community colleges and districts have equalized their pay, and it's time for SRJC leadership to finish working with our AFA to negotiate fair working conditions for the CDP instructors. Thank you for your time.
All right. Next up, Siobhan McGregor-Gordon.
Good afternoon, Board President Chabin, board members, and Superintendent President Garcia. My name is Siobhan McGregor-Gordon, and I'm an associate faculty member of the English for Multilingual Students Department. I'm here to speak to you once again about pay equity for faculty teaching courses in SRJC's Career Development and College Preparation Programs, otherwise known as CDCP. CDCP faculty are paid approximately 3/4 of what a credit faculty member earns, despite demonstrating otherwise in 2 workload studies, one conducted in 2008 and a second that encompassed the entire fall 2023 semester. In fact, the most recent workload study clearly demonstrates that on average, faculty time spent on preparation, assessment, and student consultation for EMLS courses exceeds credit workload standards. What's additionally troubling is that SRJC has been receiving non-credit apportionment equal to the credit rate since July 2015. Yet, for going on 10 years now, this money has not been reinvested in existing CDCP programs to enhance services and instruction for some of the most marginalized students in our community. Rather than attempt to address the inequities between credit and non-credit CDCP programs, SRJC seems to be in the process of creating greater inequities between credit and CDCP faculty and students by developing CDCP courses and pathways that mirror those in credit. While I believe this move makes credit coursework more accessible to some in our community, it also means that instructors teaching these courses get paid at the credit rate by default, while those who don't teach a mirrored CDCP class but have demonstrated that they spend at least the same amount of time in preparation, assessment, and student consultation get paid substantially less. Where is the equity in that? SRJC calls itself an Hispanic serving institution. To quote from the HSI webpage, being an HSI, it's about fostering a welcoming, inclusive environment where all students can thrive, feel valued, and achieve their goals. At SRJC, we're committed to creating a sense of belonging, improving services for Latinx, first generation, and low-income students, and transforming our systems with equity at the forefront, unquote. Perhaps this language should be revised to make it clear that the only Latinx students that matter at SRJC are the credit ones. And don't think for a minute that the much needed and long overdue construction improvements at the Roseland campus are a demonstration of SRJC's commitment to non-credit CDC programs, their students and instructors, perhaps to outsiders, but not to those who learn or work there and experience that campus not only as separate, but also unequal. I urge SRJC to walk their equity talk and close these equity gaps between its credit and non-credit CDCP programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Jordan Mead.
Okay, my name is Jordan Mead, and I've been working at the college for 25 years in the Information Technology Department. Hi, Kevin. I sent a series of emails that apparently caused concern and fear in our community. I am speaking of the illegal 911 call routing to district police implemented by the district and defiantly kept in place. Dr. Garcia has reported to us that we were out of compliance from March to November 21st, or 9 months, 9 days, as she reported in the January board meeting. This is approximately 279 days, and the district fine is $10,000 per day. I have acted as a whistleblower since December 16th with my goal to hold those responsible accountable. Intervention occurred November 21st. Whistleblowing began December 16th. In this campaign, I have successfully exposed every despicable tactic the district has used against so many vulnerable people before me. However, I cannot be broken. Schools legal services, in my opinion, follows an immoral legal doctrine. Kate Jolly has now scheduled a pre-termination meeting for me on 3/20/2025. It does not matter because a complaint has already been submitted for the violation. A second complaint detailing your attempts to again sweep everything under the carpet will be on full display. Everyone will soon learn the truth and accountability will be achieved. The President's Cabinet and the Board of Trustees are all culpable, as well as many others in this audience. You have lost your right to discipline anyone any longer. If any discipline happens to any classified staff member this evaluation season, I will personally defend them. I advise you to cancel my upcoming Skelly hearing and instead restore my access to my college email. I will not allow you to shift your financial liability into soul-crushing devastation. It is time for you to admit your wrongdoing and accept your liability. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Michael Vanderpoorten.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Vanderpoorten. I'm here as a citizen. I had prepared some comments for you, but it looks like I need to use the time otherwise. I've shared with you the documentation regarding the water hose issue at SRJC. And at your request, much of it's been by email, and I've delivered a copy of Exposed to one of you last month. I was very surprised to learn that people had purchased hundreds of copies of Exposed. I printed a few copies to make those available to those who may have been injured or harmed by that situation. I was shocked to see that an old photo of me was used in a publication in a flyer distributed today. At least the photo was only a decade plus old, not nearly as old as the hoses that appear to have been used at SRJC. The idea that you need to use the right water hose when you provide potable water is pretty widely understood. It's even in today's Press Democrat. Supervisor Rodoni in Marin County references it. To fill people in, the hoses that SRJC used provided water at Bailey Hall were old fire hoses taken from the training center. There were no procedures, no documented sanitation, no documented flushing, no testing, no monitoring, no notice. The indoor hoses were not approved for potable water use. Yet SRJC made up an NSF 61 certification. They showed this data sheet, and what you notice is that this logo that the company uses when it's a potable water hose is not on this sheet. It's on other sheets. This is a good hose for firefighting and for foam use. It's not a good hose for water, potable water. In fact, the manufacturer states they strongly advise against using this hose for potable water use. And then SRJC made up that it was just a paperwork issue. When it installed new hoses that were supposed to be NSF 61 certified, it looked like SRJC was dealing with the issue. SRJC proudly told people it had bought NSF 61 hoses. Looked good. Then when we saw the documentation, we learned that the hoses were not NSF 61 certified, and they might not be certifiable. But SRJC bought the hoses anyway. And what we learned in February was that the hoses from Abbott Rubber Company cannot be certified, and they are not safe for public use. So when the board was suggested that they deal with this, I was told nobody cares. Nobody cares about this. The staff and the staff, faculty, and the public here at SRJC deserve an investigation and a public report.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the room with public comment? I don't have any more cards. Seeing no one else in the room, is there anyone online with public comments? All right, I will close the public comments. And we will move on to item B6, monthly updates, starting with the college president's report with Dr. Garcia.
Great, thank you. Buenas tardes, good evening. President Chabon, trustees, colleagues, students, community members. In addition to the district monthly updates that will be coming out, I want to just highlight a few things. First, while I know that Kim and family are not in the room, I do want to extend my congratulations to her on being the Employee of the Month. I had a wonderful opportunity to connect with her and really learn about her long journey and time at SRJC, and what she shared about her engagement of just wanting to engage in an act of kindness. As she was telling me story after story of the work that she does, it's evident that that is who she is, and she absolutely loves working in admissions and records. I also want to congratulate all of the faculty who had advanced in the tenure process. It is a remarkable, remarkable accomplishment for faculty to earn the rights of tenure. Their teaching and engagement will continue to enhance the quality educational experience that SRJ students deserve. And so while we have a group that is fully achieved tenure, I would like to take a moment for a round of applause, because that is a monumental effort in the academy. Thank you. I also want to thank the members of the Tenure Review Committee. Your work in supporting colleagues as they explore and reflect on their teaching is evident, and as someone who has the privilege and opportunity of reviewing all of the tenure files, it is evident that as peers you are engaging in a process that really is about a peer support, peer learning. So much gratitude for all of your time and work. Want to share that we have Know Your Rights trainings that are workshops that are being hosted by the Vidas attorney, Julie Cyphers. There was one earlier today at the Santa Rosa campus from 11 to 12. There's another one coming up at the Petaluma campus this Thursday, March 13th from 12 to 1. They are in person and via Zoom. If you cannot attend either workshop, if you go to the Know Your Rights website, you'll be able to see, obtain similar information and videos that are available in multiple language. I really want to encourage the community and students and all who are a part of that to share and promote it. The campus forums for the Vice President for Human Resource finalists were held last week. I want to encourage folks who have viewed the forums to submit any comments. I've appreciated the feedback. I've had a chance to review all those that have been shared already. I'll be completing those final interviews this week. And again, grateful to our colleagues who have been part of the screening and interviewing committee through 2 processes now. So looking forward to seeing and meeting our 2 identified qualified finalists. Couple more here. Avanzando and Mesa, in collaboration with faculty and staff from the departments of English, English for multilingual students, and Math, have worked together to announce the SRJC Connect Summer Bridge Pilot. So this 8-week summer program combines unit courses and workshops to give new or returning students the opportunity to transition from high school or re-enter community college within a cohort-structured, academically supportive environment, really to support successful completion of AB 1705 courses. I'd like to encourage community members to be, and students who are interested. This is going to take place June 16th through August 7th at the Santa Rosa campus. I really appreciate when we have multi-department, cross-department collaborations to engage in student learning and support. A lot happened this past month. On February 26th, we hosted a peer resource team made up of colleagues from the California Community College system, and this visit included an exploration of our participatory governance redesign and our equity efforts and our HSI infrastructure and work. I want to thank the many colleagues and students who participated in interviews throughout that day. I'm looking forward to the PRT's report back to us to continue to enhance our work in those areas. In closing here, I want to highlight students and student-led efforts. So to the Mechistas, Mecha, the SRJC, they held their annual Mecha conference on February 21st with over 700 high school students that were here. I want to extend congratulations to the Mechista student leaders, their advisor, Rafael Vasquez Guzman, and support how they underscored the co-sponsoring from Fabian Meneses from UC Davis, who has helped co-sponsor that for the past 2 years. I also had a chance to be on a panel regarding career and college development. So this was with the economic development folks, SSU president, CTE Foundation, and it was an opportunity to highlight the good work that happens that when we are in collaboration, how we can establish and identify pathways for students to get access into higher education. The forensic speech debate and performance team has been very busy, active in statewide and nationwide competitions. They're traveling to Hollywood this week. I am sure we're going to get a full detailing of all of their awards, and I'm always grateful when students share their gifts and talents in these kinds of ways. Our basketball program, both women's and men's team, made it into playoffs, and congratulations to the men's team for making it to the semifinals in a hard-played game this past weekend. The baseball team remains undefeated. They're on the field right now playing against Delta College, so wishing them good luck. And I also want to highlight that our women's wrestling team had their inaugural season. So last week had the opportunity to see the very first women's wrestling match. I have never attended a women's wrestling match before, but it was incredibly phenomenal, mostly to see the families and the younger people that come with them. And it's small world here. So I was at a conference for the Alliance of HSI Educators in Chicago, and one of the colleagues there said, "Oh, my sister," somehow she was in the area and she moved, but her sister is a track and field student athlete for us, and they have a cousin that's on a high school women's wrestling team that is going to come here next year. And so I had one of those moments of like, you know, our community college system, and when families come together, right? When one person gets into college, you're opening doors for everyone else. And so it was really remarkable to be able to experience that connection. And in closing, what I want to share is there's a lot coming and news constantly about efforts in the Department of Education. At this recent conference that I was just at, had the opportunity to meet with educational leaders from across the country. And we are all struggling with trying to identify how it is that we can be responsive to remain compliant and following federal law and supporting students and our mission. And I will say that there is, I don't know if it's good, but there is comfort in knowing that we are not alone in that particular struggle. But I will share, even as early as today, there's additional communications that there's going to be reductions in the staff for the Department of Education. So again, just want to let folks know that I'm committed to staying informed on that, committed to figuring out as that information is being released, how it impacts our community, our students, and our colleagues, and that we'll continue to be in communication as much as possible. So with that, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Garcia. Next up, we have the Board Policy and Procedure Review Ad Hoc Committee with Trustee Battenfeld.
Right, the Board Policy Procedure Review Committee, which is myself, Trustee Fishman, and Trustee Martinez, has met twice. We met on February 12th and again on March 3rd, and we're continuing our work of reviewing the policies that relate to and procedures relating to the board, and some of them are on the agenda for a second reading today, and then you're going to see a couple of new ones that we are doing for a first reading, and you should continue to see more as we get through finishing them all up. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Trustee Battenfeld. Next, the Board Legislative Ad Hoc Committee report. I'll handle that. So that Ad Hoc Committee met on March 3rd, consisting of me, Trustee Battenfeld, and Trustee Bailey. We continued to discuss refining our legislative platform and priorities and responding to emerging issues both in Sacramento and out of Washington, D.C. Next, we are on to the bond update with Stephanie Jarrett.
Good afternoon, President Shaban, members of the board, Dr. Garcia, and college community. I do have a brief update for you this month, starting with our Public Safety Training Center new fire tower. We are in the design phase, and in January issued a request for proposal. On today's agenda, we have a recommendation for award of contract to Nichols, Melberg, and Rosetto Architects and Engineers for $198,000. The project is being funded by a grant from the state of California, braided together with ILM and foundation funds. Next, we have the Lunabis Auto Lift project, and that's scheduled for this summer. The installation work for this project went out to bid last month, and bids are due tomorrow. For the Race Hall Classroom, we've completed design, and the project was submitted to the Division of the State Architect, DSA, shortly after last month's board meeting. And then next, we have the work on Towser Gymnasium renovation project continues. You'll see in the photos, the new windows were installed and the drywall work is underway. Also, work on the new sidewalks around the perimeter is being done in the courtyard. On today's agenda, there is a recommendation to approve change order number 8 to Alton Construction, reflecting a negative $35,806.75. Bringing the total change order to 4.26%. This includes a savings as we're furnishing the AV displays instead of having the contractor provide them. And then we have SRJC Roseland. So for SRJC Roseland, the concrete slab has been poured for the Welcome Center, and now we're moving on to the framing. In Heritage Hall, the electrical and the HVAC are being installed, and most recently, the concrete for the curb and gutter were poured as well. On today's agenda, we do have a recommendation to approve the purchase of new furniture for Heritage Hall in the amount of $348,000, which will be funded out of adult education, Roseland, and foundation funds. Also on the agenda, we have for approval today is the Measure H 2023-2024 Annual Bond Report for the community. This is a required report under Prop 39 and is produced and distributed from CBOC, the Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, as part of their assigned duties. The report does a look back at the projects and the finances that occurred in the 2023-2024 fiscal year. And CBOC did approve this report at its January meeting, and we will mail it out to the county after the board approves it today. And then lastly, the other items that on the agenda today that have not been highlighted are the Cundy Hall remodel change order for approximately $15,000 that included electrical and additional signage, bringing the total change orders to 2.5%. There are also 2 notice of completions on the agenda, one for the facilities maintenance building installation project completed by Alcal Specialty Contracting, and the second is for the Quinn Door storefront replacement project completed by American Window and Door Systems. And that concludes my brief report. Any questions? Thank you.
Trustee Battenfeld, did you have a question?
Well, it's not so much a question, it's just, it's on a consent agenda, so I guess this is the time to say something about the CBOC report. But I just want to thank the CBOC committee for their work. It's an impressive report, and it's nice to see that a lot of our projects came in under budget. And so that's even better. So thanks to everybody in facilities who's working on this.
Great,
But
I'll carry that
It was a
back.
really thorough report, so thank everybody for me.
Thank you. Next up, we have our student trustee report with student trustee Spinozzi.
I don't have much to report today, but I would like to talk a little bit about the student government elections. Right now, I think I've talked to 11 or so prospective candidates for student trustee, and that is a lot. I don't know if you've seen how the past elections have been, but it's usually around 3 to 4, which it's a decent amount, but it definitely could be better. So me and Ruben are looking at hopefully facilitating one of the most competitive elections for at least a few couple years. Secondly, Ruben and I will be going to the ASAC conference in Washington, D.C. coming this Friday, which we will go on behalf of student government to talk about issues that are plaguing our community college system, namely AB 1705 and the shutting down of the Department of Education. And then lastly, I would just like to congratulate the newly tenured professors.
All right, thank you, student trustee Spinozzi. Next, we're to other board member comments. Any board members wishing to provide an update? Trustee Fishman.
I just have a couple shout outs and reminders that on April 26th, the Building Futures construction event is happening on the Petaluma campus, and we'd love to have you join us from 4 to 7 on the 26th of April. And also, there's a Petaluma Student Film Festival. And Vanessa, help me if I have the date wrong. Is it the 16th? That's, would be this Saturday. Yeah. Oh, it's April 16th. Thank you. Okay, I thought maybe, but I was wrong. Okay, and that's really fun to go see, and these students compete, and sometimes there's a showing at the Mystics Theater afterwards for the winners of this film festival. Also, Petaluma has a sort of a unique association with the AAUW in Petaluma, and they are hosting a women's film festival at Ellis Auditorium on the 29th of March. And it is always wonderful to go see all these women-produced films. So that's the 29th of March at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And also shout out to everyone who got tenure. I remember when I got tenure, even though it was high school, but it's a big deal, and so congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, Trustee Bailey, please.
Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I just want to say what a tremendous honor I've had in the past 3 weeks, most recently returning from the statewide Aid to Men conference. And I just want to say how proud of the district representation that I accompanied our constituency. I want to say that there were 4 professional staff, if I may, Dr. Jeremy Smotherland, I'm sorry. Think in terms of one of our mental health therapists, Joseph Hancock III, in addition to 2 of our student support staff, Regina Mahiri, and also Mr. Brian Reeves. I was tremendously proud of the student representation. We had 6 students that attended this conference as well in Southern California. And again, this is a testament of the work that's being done here on the district, on the campus community. And I'd just like to say that it was a very engaging conference, and where all 116 community colleges and let's say a percentage of their superintendent presidents were in attendance. But the idea that I had an opportunity to engage with our students, our SRJC students, made me tremendously proud. I also want to acknowledge the support of our executive administrative staff, Zara and both Kaylani. It was such a smooth transition from departure to return. Again, I quickly want to share that in this past 3 weeks, it's been quite intense in being made aware of particular resources. Trustee Valdinos, I always have trouble with his name, but it's Valdivinos. All right, I got it. We both were welcomed at Schoen Farms. We had a walking tour with the director, Connor Murphy, which allowed us to see firsthand the resources, the programming from the ag science, in addition to the animal science. I believe in the past week, and I like to say we from a collective standpoint, we hosted the 4-H, statewide 4-H competition on our premises at Schoen Farms. So again, it really gives me a great sense of pride to be able to represent the district in such a fashion, and to know that the professional staff that we have here on our campus is not only very engaging, but again, a proud representation of the district. So I just wanted to share that again. I recognize the additional resources that are needed with regards to expanding our CCAP courses out to Schoen Farms as well, but also ensuring you that the work and this tremendous work that's going on for our students locally. And I just want to say how proud I am, and I just want to say thank you and acknowledge the leadership of the district and the guidance of our superintendent president. So Dr. Garcia, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other trustees? Yeah, Trustee Battenfeld.
No, I just was going to just give a quick report. Since I'm on the California Community College Trustees State Board, we had a Zoom meeting last week, mostly around some of the directives coming from the federal government. We had a lot of legal information and advice, and mostly it was just nice to meet with trustees around the state and community college folks to talk about, our commitment to our mission and to our students, and how we are able to basically support each other and get accurate information and continue our work. So that's it.
Thank you. All right, any other trustees? I'll just provide a brief update. I was invited to speak on behalf of the JC at a forum held on February 28th at Sonoma State University, convened by our legislative delegation and Congressman Thompson, to share some thoughts. And I just like to underscore the thrust of my comments, which were, the Sonoma State is the top single destination for our transfer students from the JC, and Sonoma State receives more transfer students from the JC than any other institution. So it's definitely a very important, long-standing relationship, and the college, working with Dr. Garcia and the cabinet here have really been working overtime to support our current students, our former students who are there, as well as our future students, and continuing to maintain a robust pipeline, supporting Sonoma State, and making sure that our students succeed and get into the programs that they need to. So that's ongoing work, but I did want to highlight that for our college community too, that it's something that's really important for our little sister institution, Sonoma State. And with that, we are done with board member comments. We will go on to item B7, reports, starting with our Academic Senate President report from President Stover.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Board President Shaban, trustees, Dr. Garcia, and members of the SRJC community. Today, I'm pleased to share with you formal recommendations of the Academic Senate as reached at our most recent meetings. First, this is the first notice of our recommendation to our fellow faculty that they consider including one of 4 sample syllabi statements offered by the Generative AI Workgroup, which you can also find at the ASCCC's Academic Integrity Policies in the Age of Artificial Intelligence handbook. Please note, I did consult with faculty colleagues, both locally and regionally, in determining our best course of action in this regard, and our recommendation is aligned in tandem with the required aspects of the syllabus, which are spelled out in AFA Contract Article 17.05. Next, this is also first notice to you, our board and its representatives, that we, the Academic Senate, recommend the district establish a long-term, multi-constituent task force to address the issues of generative artificial intelligence. Note our recommendation for a long-term task force, similar in scope and time frame to the DEIAA task force that is currently underway. The Senate does have some interest in supporting recommendations as to the membership of that task force. With that said, I also recognize some limitations given the Senate does not meet again until April 2nd and the district has the right of assignment. So I would like to propose that the Academic Senate Executive Committee consult with President Garcia and VPAA Holcomb on the topic of membership, and I will follow up accordingly. I have already communicated our recommendation forwarding all of our generative AI documents from the Academic Senate to EPCC, Educational Planning and Coordinating Council. And Dr. Garcia and I have been in communication about that work, a related CCL template, and using AP 2410 to make sure that we have both an administrator and a faculty lead appointed to that work. The Senate has also decided to send 3 additional faculty with me to the ASCCC Spring Plenary. And we have sufficient but not sustainable funds to fund up to $1,500 per faculty. So I'll repeat the calls of some of the senators and just add myself that if the district or the board or the foundation would like to chip in and help us get to plenary, I highly recommend and would welcome that professional development support for our faculty. Next, I'd like to ask the board and pick your favorite mystery solving icon, Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, Scooby-Doo. I want to figure out how the board and the Academic Senate reached an agreement about the faculty staffing committee. I was up at 3 a.m. this morning doing some writing and looking at the archives of that committee. And as far as I can determine, the effectiveness and the processes of that committee have been in debate since 2011. So I'd like to figure out how we can improve this process and how we can come to mutual agreement, because Ed Code and the ASCCC and our bylaws clearly state that it's an agreement between our two bodies. I've previewed some of the work that's coming to the Senate in my report. I only have a minute left. So I want to talk just for a second about non-credit pathways. About 10 of us recently went to a one-day conference. The pathway to credit is, for many students, through non-credit. And I really am, I'm a late bloomer, but I'm a believer in our ability to decolonize the institution, to serve the people who need language and math services so that we can put them on a pathway to associate and bachelor's degrees. I think we can do it, and I want to work with all of you to make that happen. Next, I just want to say we have elections coming up, and I am going to run again for Senate President because I just love this so much. And I also want to congratulate my fellow faculty who have achieved tenure. That is no small feat, and I'm very excited for them. Let's give them another round of applause.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have our classified Senate report with President Linda Jay.
Good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia, colleagues, and community. Thank you for the opportunity to present the March report on behalf of the Classified Senate. Congratulations to Kim Howard, our March Employee of the Month. I've had the pleasure of working alongside Kim as a senator on the Classified Senate. She was a senator from 2016 to 2020, and currently she still assists us with our pillar projects. She's a tremendous asset to our Senate, always willing to step in and lend a hand wherever she can. Kim is one of the most positive individuals and always ready with a smile or word of encouragement, and she is truly deserving of this reward. The Classified Senate recently sent out a call for nominations to fill our upcoming vacant seats for nearly all of our seats. While we received submissions for most of them, we were still seeking candidates for the roles of Communications Officer and Community Outreach Pillar Lead, two vital positions in our Senate. We will be reaching out to our classified professionals to help fill these seats. An email with voting details, I believe, has already been sent out. A save the date has been sent for our annual Raul Rearberry Memorial Classified Senate Professional Recognition Awards Dinner and Silent Auction, scheduled on April 17th. This year's theme is Life's a Beach. This fun-filled evening always features fantastic silent auction items, so be sure to check your email for event announcements and donation requests. Keep an eye out for a call for recognitions awards as well, where you can nominate a classified professional colleague for recognition, including our new Caring Campus Award category. And we look forward to seeing you all there. In February, as part of Friendship Week, we gifted approximately 435 cozy blankets to our classified professional and confidential colleagues. We have also gifted these blankets to you and Dr. Garcia, and we do hope that you enjoy them. They've been warmly received, especially by those with chilly offices. We're happy to bring a little extra warmth and comfort to our colleagues. Our Spring Seas Candy fundraiser is currently underway. Orders ship directly from Seas beginning today, and the fundraiser will run through April 4th. We'd like to say thank you, and we sincerely appreciate your support on these fundraisers. They play a crucial role in funding our initiatives and scholarships, so thank you. The Classified Senate has been continuously collaborating with various committees to support our undocumented and marginalized students and colleagues. In these challenging times, it has become more important than ever for us to stand in solidarity and advocate for the protection and upliftment of these vulnerable groups. We appreciate the resources and the trainings the college has offered to support and defend these communities. The Classified Senate remains dedicated to these efforts, pushing forward with compassion and resilience. We are committed to providing a safe space for all where our students and community members can continue to thrive. We will persist in fighting for their rights and well-being as part of our shared mission of equity and justice. And this concludes my Classified Senate report for March. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the SGA report. Do we have, oh, there you are, right there. Ruben, go ahead.
Thank you. All right, good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, President Garcia, and members of the college community. I apologize for missing the board's meeting last month, and all that means is that my report will be just a bit longer this time. So if you have to cut me off, I understand. So as SGA president, it's my responsibility to advocate for student success, and that includes ensuring, and this is something others have already mentioned, but that we have equitable and well-supported faculty in all areas of education. The ongoing issue that deeply impacts our non-credit EMLS students is the pay disparity among faculty teaching these courses. These instructors provide an essential service helping students, many of whom are from immigrant and low-income backgrounds, gain the language skills they need to thrive in their education and careers. Yet despite their critical role, they are paid significantly less than their credit course counterparts, and even though the district receives the same level of funding from the state for both. This pay inequity not only affects faculty, but also directly impacts students. Lower compensation can lead to issues with retention, limited course availability, and fewer resources for those who need them most. Many of our EMLS students rely on these courses as their gateway into higher education, workforce opportunities, and civic engagement. As our institution continues to grow as an HSI, it is essential that we uphold the values of equity and inclusion by ensuring that those who educate our most vulnerable students are properly supported. I urge the board to take this concern seriously and seek meaningful solutions to address it. Supporting our faculty means supporting our students, and as student leaders, we stand with them in advocating for fair compensation and educational equity. Now, on a more positive note, I'm thrilled to share that Trustee Spinozzi and I have successfully secured $10,000 from the SRJC Foundation Board of Directors for the Student Investment Program. A huge thank you to those who have been a part of this process. We're excited to officially launch the first ever student investment fund at a community college in the United States. Additionally, we anticipate receiving another $10,000 from Tim Ronzetta, co-founder of NextGen Personal Finance, a nonprofit dedicated to developing financial literacy curriculum. This means we'll be starting with an initial $20,000 for students to invest in the community while also enhancing our financial literacy. Within just 1 week of marketing this new program, we've been able to generate over 100 student signups for our Canvas portal. I want to note that the reason we started this is because too often financial literacy is treated as a privilege reserved for the upper class rather than a fundamental life skill. Our underserved communities deserve direct access to financial education so they can navigate and succeed in an increasingly complex economic system. This program is the first step. As the first community college to implement such an initiative, we have a unique opportunity to demonstrate the impact of experiential financial education on student outcomes. SRJC already provides exceptional resources to students, but this program is the next step in addressing the root cause of financial instability. By equipping students with practical financial knowledge, we empower them not to just survive, but to thrive and build generational wealth. How am I doing on time? Next, I'm pleased to report on an exciting collaboration between our SGA and the students from the entrepreneurship program at Sven Eriksson Gymnasiet in Borås, Sweden. I don't know how well I pronounced that, but after years of collaboration with SRJC, the program is reconnecting post-pandemic, and we're honored to be a part of this return. During their first visit, the students from Sweden will attend business lectures, engage with SRJC students, and participate in community volunteer work. SGA will also host a cultural exchange meeting to share insights on entrepreneurship, education, and student life. This exchange is a chance to build relationships, broaden perspectives, and strengthen international connections. We look forward to welcoming our Swedish guests and creating meaningful experiences for everyone involved. I want to extend my gratitude to the All Faculty Association for sponsoring Trustee Spinozzi and I to attend the recent FACC conference, and for the opportunity to join them as student representatives in a legislative visit with Senator Mike McGuire's office at the Capitol. Advocating against AB 1705 and AB 705 alongside faculty was a powerful experience, reinforcing the impact of unified efforts on issues affecting students and educators alike. And lastly, I'm also pleased to announce that, as Trustee Spinozzi mentioned, we are now in election season for the Student Government Assembly. As we conclude a strong term, we anticipate one of the most engaged elections in recent years. Our efforts to revitalize student life have significantly increased campus involvement, surpassed projected revenue from Cub Card premium sales, and enhanced the visibility of student clubs, events, and programs. Interest in student government has grown substantially, and I am proud of the direction we have taken to inspire greater participation and leadership among our students. I appreciate the hard work and dedication of everyone in this room. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and insights on these critical matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the AFA report with AFA President Ann Donegan. I believe she is online.
I'm on Zoom.
I see you. Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, President Shaban, trustees, President Garcia, and the college community. First of all, I want to say thanks to all the public comments and reports tonight. Open communication is key to democratic institutions. Congrats to everyone getting tenure and moving on in the tenure process. Well done. And a special shout out to the philosophers and their headgear. I see you and I love it. Last month, I attended the FAC Advocacy and Policy Conference, the Faculty Association for California Community Colleges, with a great contingent from SRJC, 8 faculty members, and SGA President Garcia and Trustee Spinozzi. We met with staffers from Mike McGuire's and Chris Rogers' offices. We discussed important issues like allowing students to have the choice to take pre-transfer level English and math, and assuring that students are counseled by real counselors and not AI-generated bots, and that all CCC students learn about civics and how the government is supposed to work by taking history and political science courses. While at this conference, there were also discussions about how community colleges are funded vis-a-vis the UCs and CSUs. As I'm sure many in the room are aware of, currently Sacramento requires community college students to take 15 units to be considered full-time, while CSU and UCs are compensated for a full-time student who only has to take 12 units. This is a huge disparity and undercuts community college funding. This is something that we can all work on together. Administrators, the board, faculty, classified, and students. Let's all put pressure on the chancellor's office and the state legislature, to fix this injustice. I also attended meetings on campus this past month with the PERT team, focusing how we can be a better Hispanic service institution. Here are some real tangible things that SRJC can do now towards this effort. Pay non-credit EMLS faculty fairly. EMLS faculty members serve our most vulnerable students, and their classes help SRJC with the same apportionment as credit classes. Yet our district pays them 30% less than faculty members who teach credit classes. This is not only unconscionable, but it does not uphold the values of an institution who claims to care about diversity and equity. Likewise, for the past 2 years, the district has decided not to hire a full-time historian who teaches courses on the history of Latin America or the history of Mexico. I want to repeat that. We are an HSI institution and we are not offering courses on the history of Mexico and the history of Latin America. Does that make sense to anyone? It shouldn't. Budgets should reflect our values, and this position needs to be filled. Over the past month, I've also attended meetings about the impending cuts at Santa Rosa City Schools in Sonoma State. In both cases, I've seen the same pattern. Years of mismanagement of the budget and enrollment, and then administrators yell that we have a crisis and we have to have cuts now. Beware, this is a cautionary tale. At a legislative town hall at Sonoma State, Assemblymember Damon Connolly stated, quote, "Sonoma State administrators must acknowledge failure in the mismanagement of budget, and you must have a transparent plan to rebuild trust. While yes, this is a cautionary tale, I do want to commend our district in their transparent plans of working towards a balanced budget, and I say that sincerely. This is a really good thing. But I would urge our district to not only look at classified and faculty employees when cuts are considered, but I respectfully urge you to also look at the number of administrators and their salaries. At the same legislative town hall at Sonoma State Senate Pro Tem Mike McGuire, who you all know, JC and Sonoma State grad, stated this: I arrived at SRJC with an 8th grade reading level. I had to take pre-algebra, but I want to thank the amazing faculty and counselors at the JC and at Sonoma State. They changed my life. Finally, I want to end, as always, that AFA calls for transparency when it comes to safety issues. We are still waiting for the district to fully explain why they willingly broke the law in regards to 911 routing and why a fire hose was used to bring water to Bailey. We urge you to share this much needed information to the college community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have our SEIU report with President Segala.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia, students, colleagues, and community. Just have a few moments of your time today. I don't really have a lot to report out on, but I was not here last month. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to recover from this coughing that's non-stopping. So I just would like to also state that on behalf of the Employee of the Month, SEIU would also like to recognize and congratulate Kim Howard, Admissions and Records Specialist, for her dedication and her hard work in Admissions and Records Department, including her recent willingness that she's currently involved in training and coworkers when a person retires or has leave their position. This is a well-deserved recognition for Santa Rosa Junior College for Employee of the Month. I'd also like to just address that SEIU's Classified Review Committee is finally getting back to, I won't say norm, but we're trying to get back on track. So since the Classified Job Description Market Study has been completed, the Classified Review Committee, the CRC, is now preparing for a few of off-schedule reviews, quote unquote, off-schedule reviews as in our contract. And those are job descriptions which have been submitted already, which includes job descriptions that are or were vacant at the time of the study, and they were missed during the feedback phase. And the other job descriptions that had been submitted by classified professionals if they were not in the current position. So the review study process did provide full transparency to all submitted job descriptions during the study, and now we are back to the regular committee work. Also, SEIU's executive board, they had their elections for executive board of directors in mid-February, which includes the North, South, and East Bay officer positions. The board positions are a 3-year term, and I was elected again. This is my 3rd 3-year term as the North Bay Region B representative in Sonoma County, and our Sonoma County administration area was the SEIU president, Travis Balzerini, and he was elected as a vice president for the North Coast. And we will both be sworn in at the end of this month. And then just to give you a little update, I'm not allowed to go to detail, but I just wanted to say that SEIU's job stewarding, we have 6 job stewards, and I also assist when necessary. The work is overflowing caseloads from our classified within the district, which includes various differences or issues. Job stewards continue to evaluate and the continued workload condition, workspace and work area conditions, departmental concerns, and also when there are safety issues in the workplace, the district needs to address this with SEIU as it's a subject of bargaining in the contract between SEIU and the district. There's a lot of work to be done, and SEIU stewards, along with myself, continue to see these cases through on behalf of our classified employees as we work with the district and managers through the process. Thank you for your attention, and this concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and congratulations on your election. Next up, we have the Management Liaison Team report. Kim, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, President Shaban, members of the board, President Garcia, colleagues, and SRJC community. First off, I'd like to say congratulations to all of those moving forward in the tenure process and those being granted tenure. This is a huge milestone, and congratulations. I am honored to take this opportunity to recognize Women's History Month. Can I get a heck yeah? Heck yeah! And to celebrate the leadership and contributions of women at Santa Rosa Junior College. Women's History Month is a time to honor the trailblazers who have fought for progress, equity, and opportunity in education and beyond. Here at SRJC, we are fortunate to have strong and dedicated women in leadership roles who continue this legacy by guiding our institution with integrity, vision, and an unwavering commitment to students. Tonight, I want to take a moment to recognize Dr. Garcia, Dr. Senecal, and Kate Jolly, who serve as exemplary leaders at SRJC. They each bring a deep commitment to transparency, student success, and institutional integrity, values that are essential to ensuring that our college remains responsive, equitable, and student-centered. As Dr. Garcia recently shared with our community, leadership is about more than decision-making. It's about ensuring that students feel seen, heard, and supported at every level of the institution. It is about having clear and open communication so that students and employees alike understand the policies and processes that shape their educational experience. Their leadership reflects SRJC's ongoing commitment to fostering a college environment where all students, regardless of background, have access to opportunity, stability, and success. As we celebrate Women's History Month, I encourage all of us to reflect on the incredible impact that women leaders, faculty, staff, and students have on our institution every day. Their presence and leadership help build a stronger, more inclusive SRJC, one where equity is not just a goal, but a guiding principle in everything we do. To Dr. Garcia, Dr. Senecal, and Kate Jolly, thank you for your leadership, for your dedication to transparency and accountability, and for ensuring that SRJC remains a place where students come first. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are moving on to our informational item agenda, item C1. We have a written report, and Dr. Garcia, I believe you're going to
Yeah, this is just brief. There's no presentation with it, but as the board requested, making sure that we're providing as much information as possible and certainly information that becomes available to the community. So in this particular item, it's an athletics update highlighting women's wrestling, very timely with Women's History Month. I know I mentioned it a little bit in my remarks. So this particular update is available to provide information to our inaugural program, not only to the trustees, but also to the broader community.
Great, thank you. Do we have any public comments in the room or online on this item, or board members wishing to comment? All right, moving on, item C2, a lifelong learning update.
Yeah, similar. So in this particular update, we are providing information on the continued evolution around lifelong learning. In here, you're going to find historical background of the program. I don't even want to say what its previous name was because I feel like it's definitely getting traction as lifelong learning, but it's to provide information on the instructional programming and the support and the curriculum and programming that happens throughout this county. As we've heard from some colleagues already, there's a lot of work that happens not just on our respective sites, but in this particular area all throughout Sonoma County. And so this update provides some information.
Thank you. Any public comments here or online, or board members? Trustee Bricker, please.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to appreciate these updates that are really valuable, having the additional information coming into the board, but I also want to highlight what an incredible program this is, the Lifelong Learning Program. I had the privilege of getting to know some of the folks who work directly in this program when I was still working at SRJC. And I mean, it's incredible. It's going out into the community, it's providing that connection, and these are free classes, so I still talk about them all the time. I have some family members who may be signing up very soon, and so I just want to highlight that, as well as the incredible rebrand. I think, you know, the lifelong learning, and I also won't mention the old name, But the lifelong learning renaming of it, I think, just gives new life to the program itself and really recognizes what this is about, because it is accessible to people of all ages and in many different walks of life. So I just want to acknowledge the work that's been done in our communications and marketing team, and everyone who's teaching and working on that program, because I really do think it's an incredible offering.
Thank you. Any other trustees? Yeah, I will say this is an important aspect of our strategic enrollment management plan, and it's something where, we're hoping that the numbers continue to, or begin moving in the right direction, really, to realize that. So that's something that I'm hoping, through community partnerships and everyone in this room or online to, really raise awareness that this is out there, because I think all of us have a role in expanding enrollment in this, and I do believe it's a great growth opportunity for us to meet our enrollment numbers. If no one else has any comments, we are on to item C3 on early college credit update.
Yes, so I'd like to introduce that this evening we have our Director of Strategic Initiatives, Carolina Nazario, who's going to be providing a presentation with the background being the components of early college credit. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Carolina.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Good evening, board members, President Shaban, Dr. Garcia. So today I'll be talking about early college credit, but really focusing on dual enrollment and CCAP updates and just what you can expect to hear from me. We'll talk a little bit about our trends, growth opportunities, our partnerships, a little bit about upcoming legislation as well, a little bit about our connection to HSI. And speaking of these growth opportunities, definitely touching on that. So just for clarity, when we use these words sometimes interchangeably. So when we talk about early college credit, there are a couple ways for students to receive early college credit, some through credit for prior learning, and some through dual enrollment, or traditionally known as concurrent enrollment. So today I'll focus on dual enrollment, both CCAP and non-CCAP. And I know you heard earlier the CCAP said quite a few times. So that's college and career access pathways. Those are the courses that are taken at a high school by our high school students during bell schedules, taught by SRJC instructors. They're part of a pathway. They're at no cost to students. And the non-CCAP dual enrollment courses are when students seek out an SRJC course on their own and enroll on their own without a designated partnership. So why are we talking about dual enrollment at all? Besides the fact that it is a growth area of our strategic enrollment management plan, it's really an opportunity for students to kind of get a great setup for their career and educational pathway. So 7%, the students who take dual enrollment courses are 7% more likely to graduate high school. They are 15% more likely to enter college. The students who take CCAP, about 82% of students who are enrolled in CCAP courses in high schools go on to college within the first year of graduating high school, and that's compared to 66% of non-dual enrollment students. They're also about 25% more likely to persist in their college education. Just a quick snapshot of what does dual enrollment look like nationwide. You can see here California is quite behind in these numbers, and SRJC is better than average California number, but you see states like Idaho or Indiana, the majority of community college students there are high school students. For us here, we are back to pre-pandemic numbers, and that's due largely to amazing work of our outreach department, our A&R, our Petaluma folks, and so many other champions of this work. Even when high school numbers are declining. Additionally to this number, we experienced about 17% growth last fall. So we are growing. About 41% of our students are male, and we have about the same number of white and Latinx students, but that means that our Latinx students are still underrepresented in our dual enrollment numbers, taking into consideration the Sonoma County population. So this is a lot of info here, but these are our top 10, really 11, because we have a tie for number 7, courses that our dual enrollment students chose, and these are non-CCAP. So when you see these numbers where it says course success rate, that is how many of our dual enrollment students received a C or better in each of those courses compared to our district success rate. So that's how many overall students, dual enrollment and traditional, received C or better. So if I had more time, I would spend more time here, but you can see that in every one of those courses, our dual enrollment students outperformed the district students. And not only are they getting C or better, but majority of them are receiving A's, and almost 75% of those students are receiving A's and B's. Where are our students coming from? So we have the most students from Maria Carrillo High School, followed by Pioneer, where we have a longstanding early college magnet program. Then Santa Rosa High, our friends in Petaluma, Montgomery, and Annalee High School. Recently, Dr. Garcia sent an email and said that Santa Rosa City School students are SRJC students. I would expand on that and say that Sonoma County students are SRJC students. And we know we really have an opportunity, especially in pathway development with students moving to the 7 through 12 model or whatever else is happening in our county. We really have an opportunity to step up and offer some meaningful programming. When I talked earlier about impact of dual enrollment, CCAP amplifies that impact. So 82% of CCAP students enrolled in college within 1 year of high school. Majority of them go to community colleges. They complete transfer level math and English in their first year at rates much higher than their non-dual enrollment peers. And we heard quite a few times today about SRJC being a Hispanic serving institution. We've had that title for over 10 years, but CCAP is really meant as an equity bridging tool. That is our opportunity. We didn't see LC Allen High School on that top 7 high schools, and that's because there are many barriers. CCAP, we heard from the students from LC Allen earlier, or Forrest Harper, Mr. Harper coming from Cloverdale, it makes a difference when we go to them. So that is our opportunity with CCAP. So we began that work last year. Our district and AFA colleagues negotiated a side letter outlining work conditions for CCAP, and we brought our first set of 5 MOUs to work with 5 districts, 5 high schools to offer the first 12 classes via CCAP last fall and continuing through this spring. So these were the 5 high schools, every high school in a different district, and the fall courses and the current spring courses that we're offering. Our colleagues who are here in the room with us from Sonoma County Office of Education surveyed the fall students, and 96% of the students surveyed said they would recommend taking a CCAP course. And today on the agenda, you have 7 MOUs for approval. So we are moving from 5 districts to 8 districts, with Petaluma still pending, from 5 high schools to 12 high schools, and from 12 classes to up to 36 classes within a year. So that's huge growth. That's 200%. Thank you all. And that is so much work on lots of departments here. So everybody's really stepping up and championing this work. You see that not all of the high schools in Sonoma County are represented here. So we have more work to do, but we are there. We are working with them. We are open, and we are creating infrastructure to make sure this is a long-term ongoing work. Part of that, you saw the courses that you saw listed, are almost all of them are part of a pathway. So we're taking a regional approach towards pathway development. So we, and this is the work from our SCO partners as well. We looked at our top 5 high school pathways compared to our programs and the industry needs in Sonoma County, and there really isn't the kind of alignment that we need. So there's work for us to do here, and really CCAP and dual enrollment is most effective when this alignment is in place. So that's next on the agenda for us. You'll see these 3 bills popping up on your radar. All 3 of them address removing barriers, streamlining access to dual enrollment for the students. And then action steps for our trustees. So really advocacy towards this work, supporting the policies and the funding around it, engaging with our leaders, coming back and kind of having these conversations. So there is a lot more awareness of it as well to ensure there is equitable access and really workforce-aligned pathways. So I am right on time. I leave you here with this quote if you have any questions. Yes.
Well, thank you. And I will say nobody today has gone over their time. So that's a reminder for the speakers to come that you don't want to break that streak.
This is it. I think I'm the last one.
Questions from the board, comments? Yeah, Trustee Martinez.
Well, I had a chance. I bumped into Carolina last week, and I was excited to see this. I think it's a question, and then also sort of like a commendation. Like y'all have been doing a lot of work. Like that is true, and I see all of these classes and things like that. With LC Allen, I know that they had a university path, and as grandiose and beautiful it looked, it was also an impeding program because you have to be at a certain level. So I really appreciate that we're doing this. But with the changes with Santa Rosa City Schools, and while LC Allen will remain open and some other schools will be merging, but not all at the same time, I think my question is, how do we see this as both like the impact of that, but also sort of the challenges, but also the benefits for the CCAP and our dual enrollment programs?
Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity. We've had conversations with our both SCO partners and Santa Rosa City Schools partners about this. Just the fact that we can have students from 7th grade and we can think of creating pathways and educating them and their families about the possibilities of those pathways makes a big difference to not lose them along the way. So we're working on this. We are in almost daily conversations together around this work.
Yeah, Trustee Bricker.
I just want to echo Trustee Martinez, much of what she said. I think this is really incredible work, and I appreciate all of the effort that's being put to it, and obviously you're very passionate about what you're doing with all of this. I think really, I mean, it's such an equity issue, and I think you highlighted that in your program. And for me, it's all about access, and I think that's what community colleges do so incredibly well. So I'm excited to see where this is going, that it's growing, especially in like the north areas of the county where commuting is a real issue. As somebody who lives like almost at the Mendocino County line, you know, getting down here for a lot of families is really difficult. So being in those places, being in those high schools, I think that's really incredible. And getting to hear from some of the students today was really impactful. So thank you for that work. And I did just want to highlight the stat that you put in here. 96% of students who are in these CCAP courses recommended it. And I think that's really a testament to the quality of instruction that we're able to provide there, even in the high schools as well, and the faculty who are going into those spaces. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. We've had some amazing faculty champions in this past year of this work. Yeah.
All right, any other board member comments? Yeah, just like to thank our faculty, our staff, our administration, Vice President Holcomb for all the work that's gone into this, as well as SCO and the districts that are partnering. And, you know, it's my full expectation that as they get a little taste of how good these programs are for their students, they're going to want more pathways. They're going to want, you know, more courses. We're going to start building towards, you know, that whole 8th grade to graduation enrollment, you know, going early. So appreciate everyone's work on that, and thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
All right, next up, C4, we have the ACCJC annual report.
Yes, so I'm going to invite Dr. Jeremy Smotherman, who is our Accreditation Liaison Officer and the Senior Director for Institutional Effectiveness Research and Planning. This particular presentation needs to be conducted every year for the Board of Trustees. So while it's an information item, it's an information item that has a lot of action that follows down the road. So with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Smotherman to present, please.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Good evening, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, college community. I'm here to present regarding our ACCJC annual report. Just as a little bit of a setting for this is in part of our accreditation standards related to institutional effectiveness and showing our mission. So this is standard 1 of our ACCJC. As we see before, we have different aspects of accreditation that we pay attention to in terms of metrics. This is our federal metrics, not our state or our local ones. So for the annual report, these are the areas that we're looking into. We have successful enrollment, distance enrollment, and course completion. You'll see that we don't have set standards for enrollment in either our general enrollment or distance education. That's because for ACCJC, they're looking at the overall enrollment, and if we see a significant dip, we have to make an explanation of why we see that dip and what the plan is. So right now, everything's looking good in the green column for enrollment as well as distance education. For course completion, we have a set standard, which is our minimum, and the aspirational goals of what we're trying to accomplish. For course completion, we were at 76% this past year, which is higher than our aspirational goal. So definitely doing very well there. For transfer success, program completion and degree completions, there are a lot of things that we're paying attention to in this moment of it. Right now, we are projecting about 1,200 students are transferring to a four-year institution. The thing that we're paying attention to this one is that we still need information from the University of California to finalize that last spring enrollment. But based off of historic trends, we have the projection about 1,200. This is below our transfer set standard as well as our aspirational goal. This is the third year that we're below these particular marks. The main impact of this right now is being taken into consideration because of enrollment based off of the pandemic. Because when you're looking at transfer enrollment, on average, you're seeing about 4 to 5 years before people transfer. The pandemic still influences this particular number. When we're looking at degree completion, so this includes associate degrees as well as associate degrees for transfers. Again, we are a little bit below where we want that set standard to be. And again, this is most likely due to the pandemic enrollment, how long it takes students to complete. So as we're making growth in our recovery, we do expect to see an additional uptake in this. But we are looking at the fact that we have a 3-year trend where we've been below that aspect of it. The same thing, or when we're looking at certificates, this one's a little bit of a different nuance. Prior to the pandemic, we made a switch to make sure that we are including in our ACCJC reporting IGETC and CSU certifications. So those certificates are for general education to the CSU system and into the UC system. Because we did not include those previously, we were waiting for a trend before we make a recommendation on potentially adjusting it. That's why you see our set standard as 663, but our outcome has been over 2,000, about 2,500 for the last 3 years. So there's probably going to be a recommendation coming from our participatory governance structure to adjust that particular one. Also inside of other metrics for the ACCJC standards is job employment rates as well as license exam pass rates. Our job employment rates, all of our areas focus on anywhere between 80 and 90% job employment rates that we see. We generally see between 80 and 100. That's still being finalized at this particular point in time, but I don't foresee any adjustment to that trend. We've been very consistent with that over the past several years. Going onto our website for ACCJC, internally here at SRJC, we have annual reports from 2011, and this has been consistent the entire time. So no concern there. For license passing exam rates, so that's for all of our career education programs that require a license in order to work inside of their areas. Our standard is 80 to 90%. We generally see anywhere between 80 and 100%. In most cases, is 100% of students who are completing their license exams successfully. And again, I don't see any change in this particular trend either. So the analysis is that we do have trends related to our transfer outcomes, degrees, and certificates that are being influenced by our lower enrollment, the main thing being transfer and our degree outcomes. So there may be a potential for an adjustment being made for that. Where that comes to in terms of supporting for the board is that we are making sure that you're aware of our institutional set standards and any improvement plans that we need to make or any adjustments regarding those standards in terms of how they affect what we're communicating to our federal government. And then we have an accreditation oversight committee, which is part of our participatory governance structure, that if a recommendation to change does occur, it'll initially come from that body and it'll work its way through the process. So that way we make that adjustment. We generally look at the idea of 3 years before we make any change related to a set standard. So that's why the 3-year trend that I mentioned was very important. Looking at it saying, we're most likely seeing some type of experiential factor but this one is still influenced by the pandemic. That is my presentation, and I'm open to questions.
All right, thank you. Trustee Fishman.
Yeah, how do you track the employment? And how long do you have to track employment? And is it an employment in whatever they were trained for, or is it any employment?
That's a great question. So it's employment in their field of study. The way that we track it is that we use the Career Technical Education Employment Outcome Survey that's run by the Chancellor's Office, which is actually run by SRJC. So we look at that, we survey all students inside of the state of California who've completed their programs at a California community college, and we determine based off of their self-reported information if they have a job that's related to their field of study. That gives us a sense on how often or how close they are to having a job.
And so you do that once?
We do that every year.
You do that every year?
Yes.
But you, every year for every cohort,
For every
of
cohort,
students,
correct.
not for all students?
Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have been more
No,
specific on
yeah,
that.
that's what I thought you meant. Okay, interesting. Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thank you very much. Appreciate the report. Next up, well, excuse me, do I have any public comment on this item? Seeing none in the room or online, we'll go to the next item, C5, health fee increase. There's no scheduled presentation, but Dr. Garcia, if you want to say a few
no
words.
problem. No scheduled presentation, just wanting to note that in working with student services, collaboration is notifying that we are increasing the student health fee by $1, and it's within the limits of the statewide charge from throughout. Lots of conversations around this, and we're pleased to support this because the budget impact for SGA is improved revenue services, with the student health services. And so given the expansion of what we're doing in there, every single dollar will go right back to students' support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any public comments in the room or online on this item? All right, we'll move on to item C6. Dr. Garcia, I believe that's
These two particular, if I may comment on C6 and 7, just to prepare for you.
Yeah, please do.
So this is coming to the board in terms of Board Policy 2220, which is committees of the board. So this is the first reading. Trustee Battenfeld reported out on the work of the Board Policy Committee on this. And item 7 is a Board Policy 2717, personal use of public resources, also in its first reading.
Thank you. Are there any public comments on either items C6 or C7 here in the room or online? Not seeing any board members. All right, then we will move on to our consent agenda. That's items D1 through D12. Do I have do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve. Second.
Any public comment here in the room or online? Not seeing any. We'll start with advisory vote with Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstained? The ayes have it. The consent agenda passes. Next, we are on to our action agenda, item E1, personnel actions. Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any public comments on this item? Seeing none. Any board members wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. Student Trustee Spinozzi? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstained? All right, that measure carries. Next up, item E2, the warrants for January 18th to February 14th, 2025. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
Any public comment? Any board members comment? Seeing none, Student Trustee Spinozzi? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstained? That passes. Next up, E3, instructor load reports for spring 2025. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
Any public comment or board members wishing to comment? Seeing none, student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. E4, notice of reemployment and non-reemployment of contract faculty. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
Any public comment? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Alexa Forster. I am one of the professional development coordinators. And on behalf of me and my co-coordinator, we would like to congratulate everybody who's moving forward in the tenure process. And as my role as a philosophy instructor, I would like to give a shout out to Professor Turqui, who has earned tenure. It is also his birthday, but it is a gift to our department and our students that we get to have him. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Any other comments? Seeing none, any board members wishing to comment? All right, student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? All right, that's unanimous. All right, next up, E5, the CCAP MOUs. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
All right. Any public comments on this item here in the room or online, or board members wishing to comment? All right. Student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed or abstain? That carries. Next, E6, board policies 2320, 2330, 2340, 2360, and 2365. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
Any public comment or board members wishing to comment? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? All right, that passes. Next up, item E7, Board Resolution 3-25, changes to the adopted budget. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
Any public comment here in the room or online? Seeing none. Any board members wishing to comment? Seeing none, we'll go to a roll call vote. Kehlani, please call the roll.
Student trustee Spinozzi. Trustee Bailey. Trustee Battenfeld. Trustee Bricker. Trustee Fishman.
Aye.
Trustee Martinez.
Aye.
Trustee Shaban.
Aye. All right, and with that, I think that's all we got. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your attentiveness. This meeting is adjourned.